Hey folks, welcome back. This is Lucid and we're hopping back into our game with Late Age On. And what turn is it? I think it's turn 62. Yep, turn 62. We got some nature gems from Middle Atlantis. And I can't remember. I think we traded them air. They wanted air, maybe? I can't remember what I sent them, but I sent them something. Unfortunately, this was not a free handout. The High Throne has been claimed. All right. We're getting a bunch of Shadow Imps. And that is because on turn 60, or maybe it was 61, I decided to not be a bitch. And I decided to send a nap-ending message to Vanheim. We are also sending this turn, apparently, a boatload of lightless lanterns to Niefelheim. And Niflheim's in an interesting position. We'll actually cover them, I think, a little bit real quick since we're doing this trade. So, Boz, who is the guy who started this game and made most of this map, he was playing up here on this planet, and he was playing as Yomi. And he had attacked, I think, Macone, and there were a bunch of people going after Macone. And he got betrayed and proceeded to get killed. And after his, you might say, inevitable betrayal and death, he subbed back in as Niefelheim. And Niefelheim is like a little bit up here and then down here. And he subbed into Niefelheim because Niefelheim was getting their ass kicked by Mictlan. And some people, when they're getting their ass kicked, don't want to play anymore. And what can you do? Actually, I'm not sure. There might have been some extenuating circumstances, but it was coincidental. It was when they were getting their ass kicked. Anyway, Boz subbed in, which is awesome. And I think when I was saying, hey, dude, you probably should sub this position, it was like a hopeless position. Like there's a huge blood power Mictlan. They were eating Niefelheim. And I was like, dude, just because on one hand, like I don't want Mictlan to go completely out of control because they were like really big at the time and had a really strong blood economy. But on the other hand, and so, if you don't want them to go out of control, you want them to, have resistance from somebody playing the nation rather than just the AI, which they can steamroll. But on the other hand, you just don't want people going, like Niflheim was still a moderately sized nation. I think there were 14 provinces or something. They had super combatants. You just don't want them going AI. It's not cool. Anyway, he basically repels completely the Mictlan invasion, murdering stuff with super combatants and turbo communions. He was actually being attacked by Agartha as well, maybe even a little bit from Marignon, like getting completely wrecked, and then completely turns it all around. He destroyed so much of Agartha's stuff that's what precipitated Marignon to come over here and eat Agartha. This was Agartha's home planet. Anyway, Mictlan is now basically dead. Yeah, they're basically completely boned. And we helped them a little bit come up with some kits for how to deal with fallen angels and stuff. But yeah, they're basically boned right now. That being said, they've also been selling out. It's kind of funny. They've only really done it a couple times, but they've sold, because I've told them they can buy Flames from the Sky from me, which they've done on several occasions, and I've made a good deal of blood slaves off of it. But I've told them they can also sell it, and anything they get above the price I charge, they can keep, which works out for me because I don't mind supporting Mictlan. And they've only sold it, I think, one time, but that was to Yis, which hilariously was for Yis to pay to kill Marignon's stuff. Did I get that this turn? I think I might get it next turn. Where am I casting it? Yeah, I think we're actually casting it this turn on behest of Yis, but through Mictlan. Anyway, we're just a businessman. We're selling a commodity, which is Flames from the Sky, and whoever wants it can have it. But then when we don't have anyone to cast it on, I'm probably going to target Yes if I know where his stuff is. I think Mictlan's a little bit of a hopeless case now. Anyway, all this to talk about, now that Mictlan's mostly defeated, Niflheim's like, hey, what do I do? And he was thinking about going and attacking Yes, and I was like, dude, first of all, we don't need people to just attack Yiss unless you're actually ready to fight Yiss. And I don't think you're ready to fight Yiss. Like, you don't have enough. He's going to have like almost all 9s. In research, you're probably like on the struggle bus. Like, why don't you come up with another objective? But he was like, no, I think I want to do that, but I probably do need research. So he paid, I think, 60 water for this many lanterns, which are a really good deal. It's like 4 gems a lantern, I think. But we'll help a brother out. It does slow our research down, which kind of sucks. We should probably be up at like 5k research. We're way behind the other major powers. But research is one of the things that, like, yes, it can totally matter getting to level 9 in a lot of different things. It can totally matter, but it can also be overkill. Like, you have to actually use the research you have, and some things are a little, like, it's not super duper worth it. You know, like, you get Army of Gold or something, but then people put up Wrathful Skies, and it's like, well, fuck. You know? Anyway. It's not super simple, but yeah. So anyway, that's basically what we've got. We've been sending stuff to Niefelheim. That's that part. Coming down, we've cast Stone Construction. We're trying to get basically these. There's a few things I figured out. One is I probably went a little overboard casting Forest Fire, especially anywhere along the coast with Vanheim. Because what I figured out is, even if I was trying to fort this up, because I want to have all these things that are like enchantments forted, but apparently this dies if I lose control of the province at all. Like, even if I have the fort, like if I just lose the defense on the outside. So that actually kind of sucks. Same thing with Vessel of Misery. So one thing we're going to have to do, we've sent this war declaration up to Vanheim. One thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to patrol with, like, dudes very capable of killing thugs and raiders of various kinds. We're gonna have to patrol, like, with these disease demons, basically. And this guy should be able to mulch, like, a lot of the kind of raiders. Like, it'll mulch Nifl Jarl thug. I mean, Van Herses and stuff. Anyway, and it should also mulch small squads of Van Heers. But like, a proper army would obviously kill it, but you can't have everything set up to defend against the proper army. So you've kind of got to just, you know, make do. Just make do. Anyway, so we've got to get ready for that. The other thing I do want to have, like, this is a pretty nice province. It's 2, 1, 2, so that's 5. This is a 6 gem province. Not a lot of income, but all my good provinces and most of my coastal provinces, I want to have forted up. So, like, we're building a lab here. We're building a lab here. The labs are so we can do stone construction on top of it. We want to have this, basically, this whole coastline forted up. It's going to really limit the effectiveness of Vanheim's raiding. And, yeah. We are also making a bunch of shadow imps, because these guys are going to be very important for working with our Sin Lesser Horror to basically kill whatever is... Or basically, we need somebody to take the province after the horrors have conquered it. So we're going to be having a lot of these dudes. You can see we're making a few more here, actually, too. We are on top of Calum, and we're going to be storming it this turn. We've also ferried out an anti-magic amulet. I was kind of freaking out about having this guy with only like 13 MR with 66 HP. He would be totally targeted by Soul Slay. Hopefully there's enough where even if he is targeted, he doesn't immediately die. Because he's also going to be putting up anti-magic after mass protection. So anyway, should be okay. But basically we're just, the plan here is we've got these guys who are going to be guarding Commander. And then so we're going to have like a mage core in the middle with a bunch of people on guard Commander, and we're going to have the vampire just immediately jump to the back. That way, even if he puts Storm up, unless he has a Storm Staff, we'll get there first. I don't expect him to have a Storm Staff. And I probably shouldn't have put Soul Vortex on this dude. But yeah, that's basically it. We're doing Darkness too, which is going to make us murder his birds. Like, Darkness plus mass protection will kill his birds really easy. One thing I don't have yet is I don't quite have Blood 8. So I can't do Rush of Strength, which is really good. I mean, it's bad that I don't have it, but Rush of Strength is really good. So, anyway, that's one thing we've got going on here. We're storming this. We're getting more vampires. You can see we're doing a ton of Curse of Vampirism. We cast Flames from the Sky. Actually, this might have been the army that got cordoned in by Yes. I can't even remember. We've been getting a bunch of calls from Micklin. Okay, and then Record of Creation. We don't find anything. That kind of sucks. We cast Vessel of Misery here because we were a little late. This guy was insane the previous turn. What are we gonna do? But anyway, we've got more Disease Demons coming up. I've kind of got some of this industrialized. One thing I don't have very good, and I need to do, is I just need to get more organized with where these things are getting produced. Like having all these items produced in different cities makes it really hard to keep track of. And one thing we're gonna get to, because I'm actually like 3 turns ahead of this in the real game, is like inventory management is about to start becoming a problem. Like we're already kind of doing okay, like we're a little organized, but we're also a little disorganized. So we're gonna have to figure out how to manage all this better. We're going to have to figure that out. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we had best cover immediately. I don't think so. I don't think so. Don't think so. Blood economy is going pretty good. We're at, let's count real quick. Oh, we found some magic sites too. A clam field, which is nice, and then 2 enchanted gates. And actually, we're like, these are both really good. I think this is Astral Pearl, and the other one was, the other site was 2 Astral Pearls. Yeah. So we're really pearl constrained right now. Like, we really need more pearls. And we're almost to the point where we're having to like alchemize to get pearls. It's kind of it's an issue. But let's count how many blood slaves we're getting. We're getting, we'll call that 30, 50, 55. We'll call that 70, 100, 120, 140. I mean, 160, 175. 225, 250, 275, we'll call that 300, we'll call that 325, 340, 370, 400, 470. So we're almost at 500 blood slaves a turn, which is pretty solid. That's like a proper blood power. And I mean, we probably don't have the highest income, but with the Shattered Throne, we're getting more bang for the buck out of it. And we're starting to amass like an immortal fleet, which is pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. If we start fighting Kailasa, I'm gonna have to switch. We're gonna have to make other stuff. Because if Kailasa declares war on us, we don't really want to use our vampires, because they have stuff that permanently kills immortals. And, I mean, Vanheim kind of can, too. Like, they can have the Infernal Blade or whatever. I forget what it is, but the thing that permanently kills Sacreds. So we'll have to be careful. We will have to be careful. And who knows? There could be some other... Like, I know Kailasa has a spell which permanently, like, unresistably just ends immortality on all units on the battlefield, is my understanding of how it works, which to me is complete bullshit. What are we gonna do? I mean, what the fuck are we gonna do? I don't know. Okay. Don't think there's anything else. We got to see this last turn, I think, where we stole everything. That was kind of funny. We're moving everybody on top of this fort here this turn. And we're teleporting in Ted Jones, I believe, down here, one of our white mages. And we'll probably storm the fort with him. I don't really want to risk these dudes. But I think that's basically... There's not a ton going on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but it's like mostly blood economy. I forget what artifact we're making. We've gotten all the core artifacts we care about. We're just kind of getting some jank now every time we look at artifacts. The other thing is we're getting a little ready. I can't remember if we're making it this time, but we're starting to make some more skull faces, and I'm gonna want to have, like, I think at least 3, maybe even 4 skull faces, and then we're going to Black Death, yes, his capital, because we're horrible people, and he's in position 1, and he's really cap limited. We're not going to do it just to spite him. We will do it just to spite him if he starts attacking us. So that might devolve into a huge salt war. But, I mean, what's past is past, and we're going to nuke his capital. And he's big enough, it's not something he should exactly care about. And we're going to take Death Gem donations from a bunch of other players. So, anyway. That is basically it. We're going to go ahead and go to the next turn. That is going to be 63. There's probably a lot more I could have covered. We're doing a bunch of Reaping of Souls. Do more Record of Creation. Here you find a Sacred Glen. I forget what this is exactly. Oh yeah, this gives us the Melissa, which is kind of cool. It's a healer. So it's actually pretty nice. We're going to be spamming these out. We're getting a lot of healing from the global, but we still have a ton of dudes who are like diseased and afflicted. It would be really nice to have a couple healers also. Also, air nature is a pretty useful cross path. It means we can do like rainbow armor and stuff, which is really good armor for casters. So that's something we'll be availing ourselves of. We're going to be putting a forest fire here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else particularly interesting. We should probably talk about Dale Denton. Dale Denton, last turn we empowered... or 2 turns ago, we empowered in death. So that was 80 gems, or what, 60 gems or 50 gems or whatever. Yeah, 50. Then we cast Twice Board on him, 80 gems total. And now we're doing Music of the Spheres, which is another 25. So we're up to 105 gems just on Dale Denton. But when he comes out of this, he is going to have Innate Caster after this. I believe we're also doing Apotheosis this turn. Here, what I do not know, and what we'll find out next turn, is this can only be cast in the capital in the presence of your Pretender God. So I don't know that. So we're actually going to waste like 30 nature gems or something here, which... Oh, well. I'm my first time playing DE, guys. We make mistakes. Okay. I mean, we've played, like, that Pangea game that went up. There was a Blitz. We played DE. I didn't use any DE stuff in it, so I wasn't really playing DE. But anyway. Voice of Tiamat we cast. We got... Okay, that's the other thing. We've started casting Voice of Tiamat. We found some interesting stuff. Like, we found Fossilite Skunk. I think we found the Boiling Current here. Ooh, a Fire Mage may enter to summon a Flame Jelly. I didn't know that. Flame jellies aren't bad. It would maybe be worth finding a fire mage and sending them underwater. We might do that on my current turn. Make a ring of water breathing, send one of these guys underwater. Start making fire jellies. Anyway, that's going on. We have the battle... So Calum, in his quest to defend this fort, which he never wanted to recruit out of. He let the AI sit on top of it for literally forever. And his cap is about to get taken by Kailasa. But somehow he finds it in his means to send 3 Phantasmal Army attacks over here. And they're mostly successful. Like, this one actually works too. So he takes 2 of these things out. But Phantasmal Attack, I do not think is very cheap. Yeah, it's 8 air gems. So this cost him, like, to do it 3 times was like 24 gems. But he might have cut off the retreat route for this army. But then he has the battle. And he's been kind of successful winning these battles before, because I brought just shit that would not do well against Calum. But we showed him a bit of respect and brought some vampires. And vampires don't give a fuck about fog warriors. He's got some air elementals. His guys have jumped back here, where they actually don't do super awesome. Because they're not really able to hit Zweihanders, and then everything else I have back here is a bunch of summoned garbage. And meanwhile, we're killing all of his mages. And, you know, we have magic attack, so these guys are able to kill air elementals. Not, like, super efficiently, but they do it. And that's it. Kalen loses. He kills one Astral 1 mage, and then temporarily, or he sends home a few vampires. So yeah, he got wrecked. But, I mean, he did a good job defending this. I don't think it was a good call defending it. I mean, he probably, if I were him, I probably would have focused more on my capital. But I don't know. I mean, at some level, too, you're just killing people that are attacking you. And it's not like he's going to win the game. So I'm not sure, like, what the optimal moves are if you're going to lose the game. Yeah, I forget what happened, but for whatever reason, we couldn't bring a lot of the vampires in, or we chose not to. I don't know how this happened, but the vampires didn't really show up. I don't know if maybe a guy leading them... I don't know what happened. For whatever reason, we didn't bring vampires inside. I could have sworn they were... I mean, they were in formations. I don't actually know how that happened. And then we have a battle in here where we're taking this final fort from Yes in his little Marverni homeland. And he actually has dudes in here. I'm not sure if he really had much scripted. But he does have some people here. Like, it looks like he had enough here where he was kind of thinking, hey, wouldn't it be cool if... Like, he could have gotten these guys out. Like, magic phase them out. And these are cap only. They're kind of valuable. Anyway. I guess he was thinking, huh, maybe I'll repel them and I can just claim it was a weak little force. But, I don't know. So this guy's, he's got a magic boost of 1 right now. And they might have gotten a second spell off, but they got yoinked so fast. You can do funny things with these guys. Okay, well, he didn't put weapons on them. I don't really know how high a commitment he was trying to take these things. We lose some Fiends of Darkness. Such is the cost of doing business. We lost 6 Fiends of Darkness. We lost one of these guys. And a Ghost and a Zweihander. Feels okay, man. Feels okay. And yeah, he lost some more Arc Knights, 2 Champions, some Druids. I thought he was going to do a more complete evacuation, but it's not exactly like he gatewayed in an army or anything. So anyway, there's that. We've taken this, and we now have substantial control of what was once the Yis invasion of Marverni. And this gives us a nice little outpost on the planet where if we want to invade on this planet, we can. If Yis starts taking over more stuff, we can. Yeah. So that's cool. Trying to see if there's anything else in particular. Voice of Tiamat. We found a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, that was this time. We found 2 water gems. And we've gotten attacked by some demons and stuff too. Storm demons attack. A very deadly disease is spreading Gertberg. I think that's our guy. And And we get to see what Atlantis has over here. He's got some sea serpents. He's got this big sea serpent that looks like it summons these little ones. And then he's got some seers of the deep. And this is not scary to us. He's got these guys with the little patrol rings. He was trying to catch Bane Venom Charm carriers. So it's probably good we moved our Bane Venom Charm carrier out, or we would have been spoiled. I mean, I don't have any... Before until he told me... So I guess I didn't cover that yet. I talked with Atlantis, and I was like, dude, nobody really wants you on our planet. I forget how we got talking. We were trading or something, and I was like, yeah, I mean, just know, like I want you to do well in the game, but I don't want you to do well in the game on our planet. Like, we didn't kill this last Atlantis just to have a new Atlantis come in. So, anyway, I'm like, and it's not me. It's like everybody on this planet doesn't want. And we coordinated to kill the last Atlantis. You know, I'm certainly game to do the same for another one. And he said, look, dude, I'm just over here to kill early age Atlantis. He pissed me off by coming over to his planet, to middle-aged Atlantis planet, and messing with me. And I'm just going to kill him, and once he's dead, I'll stop. And first of all, I don't know if I trust that. This is funny. He has a thug here called Take Your Fucking Turn, the transformed octopus. This was almost certainly a relic from the war with the dragons. And the dragons were, like, being really slow to do their turn. So that's actually kind of funny. But anyway, he's basically said this, and I went and communicated that I've been goading everybody to go finish off early age Atlantis before middle-aged Atlantis can come in here and get a strong foothold. I've been doing that just because, regardless of middle-aged Atlantis's intentions, we don't want him to get a strong foothold on our planet. What I've also told them, though, now is I told them basically what I talked with middle-aged Atlantis. So here's the thing. If anybody attacks him, he's going to go attack them. But if they don't, he's not going to. Or so he tells me. Which, you know, it's words are wind in a way. But what I told him is if he attacks anyone, we will probably all consider that aggression against all of us. And that nobody wants middle-aged Atlantis to have the ocean system of our planet. And... you know, kindly go get fucked if you think you're going to come in here and just start taking it. Like, I will certainly magic phase stuff on, like, my god and stuff on top of his armies and stuff. Which, you know, look, it's going to be hard fighting middle-aged Atlantis under the water, but we'll do it again. And fortunately now, if we were to do it again, we would probably be getting storm demons. Which are going to mean he can't really use a lot of the troops he would normally use underwater. I can't remember here if we got to see what his bless was. I forget. We're probably going to get to see it. Yeah, okay. His bless does not include magic weapons, which means these sacreds are going to get wrecked, riggedy wrecked by storm demons. So we actually could fight him underwater. It's certainly by the time he gets up here. Right now we don't have Blood 9, so we can't get Storm Demons efficiently. But we're going to be able to start getting them. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything we missed. I don't think so. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, somehow I bumped Niefelheim here. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't mean to move these guys here. So I actually just kind of wasted... I think I was clicking to move to this star, and I just misclicked. This was just a little logistics squad. I'm a little impressed he killed the Ghoul Guardians, though. Wait, what happened to the Ghoul Guardians? Well, they've routed, and he just kills them on their retreat. Because I was saying they would probably fuck him up. Oh well. Whoops. That's why you don't want to have too many wolves in an army. But this was not really an army. This was just logistics where we misclicked. But losing 16 Ghoul Guardians kind of sucks. They are things which are kind of, you know, scarce to us. Yeah, and since we forted up around our place, we actually have pretty limited ability to get them. We get some from Malediction every turn, but still. Not looking great on that front. And, yeah, this is the last turn. Or no, we have one more turn before, like, attack orders are not going in this turn. Next turn, which is my current turn, is when attack orders go in with Vanheim. And I sent Vanheim a little note in Discord to see if he got, because he hasn't said anything back to me when I ended my nap with him, which normally I'm used to some kind of response. So I went and double checked with him just to make sure he knew. I didn't really want to, like, surprise him. I mean, I want to, but we try to be ethical here. So anyway, because he didn't reply, we went ahead and double checked, and he is indeed aware. He did see it. He just didn't reply. So, we're going to try to have an efficient war against Vanheim. Vanheim is one of the big players, though. This is not going after a small player. He's probably weaker than me, but probably not by a lot. So we'll have to see how this goes. It's going to be probably a bit dicey. Probably a bit dicey. And one of the problems is there's a lot of things I'm going to want to do through communions, like with my Doom stack, but they're not going to be really safe to do through communions. So we're going to have to figure out how to manage that. I'm probably going to raid a lot and have 1 or 2 Doom stacks, which are going to have major mage support from big guys who can't be killed by, I don't know, assassins or flames from the sky or things like that. I just don't feel, I don't want to bring in my Ghoul Guardians and have them dependent on mages that I can't really trust. So that's a thing. We're moving a ton of scouts into Vanheim to get ready so that we can do Sinless or Horror, and I've got some Astral Mages in here to block Mind Hunt. We've got a bunch of stuff going on. So tune in next time. I know this was kind of just like a boring episode, but next time we're going to be doing, like, actually playing through the turn and talking about how to deal with these GD elves. So see you next time, guys.